Hi, and Keeps Gaming here, and today we're reacting to another Smash bracket, the Minecraft Battle Royale. And as of this recording, Snake versus Joker's just come out, and I'm well behind. Literally, I was only 2 behind, but now I'm 3 behind, so I need to get this out. So anyway, let's get straight into it. But before that, guys, just let you know, there's my Smash bracket bingo card just down there. I've increased the size of it. Because I don't know if you guys can see the crosses and ticks of ones I got right and ones I've got wrong. So if it's got a tick, obviously got right, and got a cross and got it wrong. So anyway, that is that. I'm going to get straight into it. So let's just take this down. It's a battle royale, so it's a bit different. So it's Steve, Alex, Enderman, and Zombie. Basically, near enough all the ults, the main ults anyway. So yeah, I don't know who's going to win. So let's just get straight into it.
What would happen
Let's
if 4
go.
icons of the Minecraft universe went toe-to-toe
main
to
ones, anyway.
toe-to-toe in a battle to determine who would come out on
That's
top?
a lot of toes.
I'm Ink, and this is Smash Bracket, a show dedicated to solving that exact question. If each and every playable character from the Super Smash Bros. Series was put
So I wonder
into
if they
a
do
giant
hero
fighting tournament using
like
them
that.
at the peak of their strength, who would be victorious? The rules for this series are on screen now, with a link for a further breakdown in the description below. With all that in place,
That's
let's see which of our
Steve.
playable
Hang on.
Minecraft characters are the most powerful in their universe.
Well, before anything, so surely if that means it's going to be, you know, Smash Bros. Characters versus each other and ults, surely that must mean all the heroes from Dragon Quest must fight each other too. It has to, because if they're doing it for this, they have to do it for the others, surely. Surely they have to do that. Same with the Koopalings, I guess the strongest Koopalings as well. And the same with... what's the other one? And Pyro and Mithra must have to fight each other, surely. Unless they're fighting somebody else. But surely Pyro and Mithra have to fight each other. If this is how it's going, but I don't know. I might be wrong. I can't remember the matchups. But I would think they'll do it that way to keep, you know, the same for everyone. So it should be the same for everybody else. The same with Olmar and Alf. They should fight each other, really? Unless they're already in it. I actually completely forgot the matches. Ink, send me the match list. I need it again.
And see who will represent the series in a fight against Villager. Let's get into it.
Oh, so it fights
The
Villager.
cube-like
So they move on
world
to the next
of
round?
Minecraft is full of monsters, adventurers, and so many cursed internet videos and music parodies.
Oh, I remember these.
So many music parodies. In the world of Minecraft,
Creepers
it isn't
gonna steal
incredibly
all the
uncommon to
stuff
find a wide
again.
variety of things that go bump in the night. Whether it's the self-exploding creeper, undead skeletal archers, or spiders, which, embarrassingly enough, have been the cause of about 90% of my deaths in Minecraft. But among all of these infamous monsters, 2 stand apart from the rest as some of the most recognizable and dangerous: Endermen and zombies. Now, these creatures aren't anything new to any experienced adventurer. Neither zombies nor Endermen are typically a match for any player, even those at the start of the game. However, while these monsters may seem underwhelming, things start to look a little bit differently when you look at the peak of each species and what they're capable of. Let's take the Enderman, for example. These silent but deadly warriors come from a world beyond our own dimensions, in a place beyond creation itself, simply referred to as the End. In this dark and bleak dimension, Endermen roam around in nearly endless numbers, seemingly centered around the home of the legendary Ender Dragon. While their hive mind and general apathy toward players may cause you to think of them as mindless drones, Endermen actually have a deep and complex culture dedicated to one thing and one thing only: the Great Chaos, which is an entity that embodies the very concept of chaos itself. In an effort to worship this entity, Endermen don't build structures, hence the emptiness of the End. Instead, they roam around the overworld to move blocks and disrupt the natural order of things, and dismantle human-built structures. As a result of these journeys of destruction, Endermen as a species have learned firsthand how dangerous humans can be, with thousands of their kind falling to the handcrafted weapons of adventurers.
See, that they die straight,
just float there and take it. As a species, they've spent thousands and thousands of years developing anti-adventurer combat techniques. They created special training areas where individual Endermen would spend hundreds of years training endlessly in combat arts, specifically designed to take down players. In fact, they spend almost every single moment of their existence training for an opportunity to fight and kill humans. Each Enderman becomes an expert of hand-to-hand combat, and is eventually taught how to master weapon-based combat as well. Even though constructs like weapons and armor are considered to be a tool of order and not chaos, they were deemed to be far too effective to ignore. And I know what you're thinking.
Huh.
If Endermen are supposedly such a well-trained threat, how come they pose very little challenge at all in Minecraft Overworld?
Turn to cat and
Well,
torture him.
unfortunately, when most Endermen see a human, they're thrown into such a blind, instinctive rage that they lose contact with their hive mind and forget all of their training. And this is why most Endermen that you see in Minecraft pose very little threat at all. But beneath their rage is a trained and hardened killer. And those who can control their anger and keep their head would become a major threat to any player. Endermen house a range of abilities that become incredibly dangerous, such as being able to weave together teleportation, mind reading, expertise in hand-to-hand and weapons-based combat, allowing them to dodge any projectile attacked, and the ability to transport themselves and others to the end at will, where anybody without the ability to fly will be quickly swallowed up by the void.
I don't know.
And all of these are combined with hundreds and hundreds of years of combats and
If you
tactics.
teleport
More
any
than
attack.
making up for the fact that they're weak to objects as mundane as water. But Endermen aren't the only threats in the world of Minecraft. One of the most common
They should just throw in everything. Spiders,
Zombies are by far the
creepers.
most numerous enemies in all of Minecraft, and they're one of the only mobs who prefer to fight in groups rather than taking on their opponents solo. Most scientists in the world of Minecraft agree that zombies were actually players at one point, whose bodies are now in an advanced state of decay. And while that's not an incredibly pleasant thought, the visual similarities between the clothes and physiques of players is undeniable. While they are mostly mindless and operate on a bloodthirsty instinct,
every time a
zombies
Minecraft
do
player
have some
dies,
form of
turn into a zombie.
organizational structure within their ranks. And the biggest threat among them all is the zombie leader. These things are intelligent enough to use armors and weapons, but their true strength comes in numbers. As I said, zombies prefer to fight in groups.
Yeah, diamond
so
zombies
what can
coming
they
towards us
realistically do in a
is-
situation like today's battle,
Yeah,
where
it's
they
something.
must fight an entire fight by themselves? The answer is simple. If you can't bring zombie friends, then make them instead. Each time a zombie leader is hit by an attack, there's up to a 75% chance that they'll spawn more zombies for reinforcements. And each of these new recruits can hold up to a 10% chance to spawn into even more zombies on top of that each time they're hit. This unique racial trait can turn a single zombie into somewhat of a Minecraft equivalent of a Hydra. Strike one down and 5 more can take its place. And not all zombies are created equally. Apart from the standard run-of-the-mill
It's a good
zombies
argument,
that we're all familiar with, there's also 9 racial variants, each of which impart unique abilities and benefits to the zombie. The frozen zombie, for example, can freeze players in their tracks with a ranged snowball attack, and the jungle zombie can poison their targets on contact. There's also variants that can use the death magic of necromancy, blast out steam projectiles, summon lightning, or the most dangerous zombie variant of all, babies. These little suckers are just as tough as fully grown zombies.
I'm not falling for it, Ink. I'm not falling for it again. He's doing good arguments for some of these. He's trying to make me select the zombie, and it might very well be the zombie who wins. Like, you keep attacking zombies and they spawn more zombies and they're greater in numbers. But then you got Enderman that teleports as well. But I'm not falling for this. I'm not going to fall for it, Ink. I'm not going to fall for it. So I'm not going to... I don't know if I say zombies yet. We'll carry on. We'll make a decision after we hear the rest. But at the moment, no. Okay.
But they're way faster,
I'm done.
which is incredibly helpful when the zombies use their preferred
What's
method
wrong
of
with my
attack,
screen?
running into their opponents over and over until
There we go.
But while hordes of zombies wreak havoc throughout the villages of Minecraft, and Endermen train endlessly their capabilities as lethal
See, I think
killers,
Enderman,
the world of
but-
Minecraft isn't without heroes to oppose this world's monsters. These are the explorers who work to
But
craft a
then-
safer world.
yeah,
These are the warriors who work to
the
fight off hordes of
heroes,
monsters to their dying
warriors,
ground. These
have killed so many
the
Endermen and
players.
zombies.
Players
So
make their way through the world of Minecraft, creating weapons, crafting homes, and weaponizing fishing poles in bizarre player versus player combat. The players are at the true heart of Minecraft, representing its endless creativity and serving as an avatar for us in the real world to be able to interact with the game. But among the endlessly customizable avatars in Minecraft, 2 stand above the rest as the most famous: the male default skin known as Steve, and the female default skin known as Alex. Steve and Alex have been part of the world of Minecraft for years, and share an identical arsenal and physical abilities. The duo carry a vast array of weapons, tools, and potions to prepare them for anything that they might face in the overworld. The axe, pickaxe, and shovel are all made to help terraform their surroundings, as they chop down trees, mine through solid stone, and tear out pieces of the earth to add to their inventory. The resources gathered from these tools can give the players access to even more craftable items, items. Weapons such as the bow or sword can be made from a plethora of natural components, from fragile but easy to find wood to nigh unbreakable netherite. But by far the most iconic material in Minecraft is the ultra-hard diamond. Weapons, armors, and tools made from diamond dish out
weapons, armors, and
damage.
skills.
They're incredibly durable, and they sparkle like a vampire on a hot summer day. And these things can be made even better by harnessing the power of enchantments. Alex and Steve can use magic to enhance their gear to an all-time high. The protection charm, for example, can reduce damage by 96% when applied to the strongest armor in the game. Enchantments can also protect players from elemental damage, summon lightning from the sky, increase damage output, and most importantly of all, drastically increase their chances of winning a fishing competition with the lure enchantment. Now that's my kind of use of magic. The player's magic isn't just limited to enchanting gear though. They can also brew magical potions with a broad array of effects. These potions can increase their speed, slow their falls, and allow them to turn invisible and breathe underwater. Or it could apply a passive healing to help keep players alive. Steve and Alex also have some offensive potions, which can be used to slow down and weaken their targets, or to deal straight damage with a potion of harming, although this has the opposite effect on zombies and heals them instead. Gear and magic are nice and all, but what truly sits at the heart of Minecraft is the crafting system. With this, a player can create new gear or weapons to replace old equipment, but they can also program traps with redstone, build intricate contraptions like catapults to launch projectiles, and most impressively of all, they can place blocks in just the right order to create new life and spawn creatures like an iron
golems as well. So.
Steve and Alex also hold a plethora of items to assist them in their journeys. Among these are the Elytra wings, which grant flight for a limited time and can be propelled to great speed with fireworks. A few other notable items are the laser beacon, ender pearls, and the totems of undying. I could go on and on, but Steve and Alex's arsenals are so diverse that we'd be here all day. That said, all of this brings up a question. If Steve and Alex are so similar in their arsenal and abilities, does anything differentiate them? And the answer is actually yes.
Tie?
It boils down to one word: strategy. Steve and Alex are both veterans of the world of Minecraft, but they represent very different sides of the game. These differences can be found in the official Minecraft books titled The Island and The Mountain, as well as being substantiated through officially published advertisements, cinematics, and promotional imagery for the game. Let's start with ladies first, Alex. Alex represents the adventurous side of Minecraft. She's often seen running into danger head-on to fight whatever obstacles await her.
Steve seems a bit more scary.
Scrappy, and adept at hand-to-hand combat. She excels at many different forms of battle, and she's even taught Steve a thing or two about how to hold his own in a fight. Steve, on the other hand, represents the more creative side of Minecraft. While Alex feels alive on the battlefield, Steve prefers to spend his time mining and perfecting his skills with alchemy. Between his intelligent crafting and mining, delicate potion mixing, and efforts to write a list of fressons, which were his lessons to help Alex learn how to be a better friend to the denizens of Minecraft. Yes, that's a real thing for some reason. Steve has a much different approach to battle and life itself. And it's because of these differences that Alex and Steve operate very differently when put into tense combat situations. Alex is likely to charge in immediately with a powerful weapon and go to town, whereas Steve is much more prone to stay back, analyze the situation, and engage only when the perfect moment strikes. But now that we've gone over the general lore and abilities of each of our fighters, let's take a minute to break down their physical abilities. Let's start by talking about usable combat speed. This is the speed at which a fighter can meaningfully control themselves around a battlefield and a combat situation. The Enderman is probably the least straightforward to measure, since they prefer to teleport during combat rather than physically maneuver themselves. However, they are capable of reacting to and dodging quick projectiles fired by Alex and Steve. Zombies have a range of speeds that depend on their variant, but the fastest is definitely the baby zombie, who specializes in rushing down their opponents. But this brings us to the heroes of our game, Steve and Alex. Now normally, these two can maneuver in combat at about 12.5 miles per hour, but they're able to boost this up to nearly 18 miles per hour with the assistance of a potion of swiftness. Now that's it for speed. It wasn't too bad, but things start to get a little bit more complicated when we stop talking about speed and start talking about strength and durability. The world of Minecraft is packed full of heavy ore and remarkable landmarks that seemingly would require huge amounts of energy to obliterate with TNT. Just a simple glance at something like mowing through a mountain with nothing but an enchanted pickaxe, or looking at a character's ability to carry a massive inventory, would lead one to think that all of the characters of Minecraft are packing some serious strength. Unfortunately, things are a bit more complicated than that. The entire universe of Minecraft is consistently portrayed in the games and described in its extended media as having a totally different mechanical system behind its strength, gravity, and durability. not to mention the mechanics of breaking apart material in general. For example, when a player picks up an item, rather than lifting it with their physical strength like we would do in real life, that item instead becomes entirely weightless upon touching it. This means that every tool, every block, or even every animal that the player picks up has absolutely zero reliance on their physical strength. If they need to hold more items than their hands can carry, they're able to fold up any of these items or blocks like a playing card almost and stick it into a weightless pocket dimension. Once again, not relying on their physical strength.
It's that's tugged in my eye. I'm not winking at you.
For example, if Steve decided to go punch a tree, it also wouldn't rely on his physical strength. Instead of breaking apart materials with his bare fists, to him this action is more akin to holding down a button until the item breaks apart. And this same thing applies to the other monsters, where the mere act of touching a creature is the deciding factor in beating them, not physically striking them with force. And this makes strength in Minecraft incredibly ambiguous to pin down. We could try to figure out different ways to measure Minecraft's world with our own, but ultimately these are characters who exist entirely in a world that requires zero physical strength to excel in, meaning that they can pick up solid gold blocks in their world no problem, but they do so under physics entirely different from our own.
Powerful.
Putting numbers on what these characters are capable of through strength would be a disservice and distraction from how they actually operate, and instead they should be treated as a self-contained universe. But with all that said and done, it's time for our fight. But first, if your curiosity has been piqued about the lore of Minecraft and its inner workings, consider checking out their series of books available on Audible. The first one is narrated by Bowser himself, Jack Black, for some reason. But they're all incredibly fun to listen to. Use our link in the description to get a free audiobook and listen along with us. Doing so sends $10 our way and helps sustain the channel. But with that in place, let's get into the fight to see who will advance on to be the representative of the Minecraft universe in Smash Bracket. Let's get into it.
Okay, so before we get into it, I'm just going to say, I fall for this near enough all the time. This is why I got a lot more wrong than I have right. It's the thing is, Ink is really good at making good arguments for each character to hype each character up, but then my other side of my brain is like thinking this, right? So when you play Minecraft, you control the character, and your friends playing with you. You probably can slaughter so many zombies and so many endermen really quickly and stuff, regardless of their stuff they have in Minecraft. Again, it depends on what moves and special abilities that implement into Smash Bracket. But I'm going to go with the default Minecraft way and just say it's going to be either Steve or Alex. Because they like when I play Minecraft, I never hit a zombie or even a captain zombie. I know it's all changed since then, and they spawn like, well, 70% chance of spawning like some more zombies, and if you hit them, and there's a 10% chance of another 5 zombies. Never encountered that. I've killed so many zombies I can't even tell you in Minecraft, like throughout the years. And Enderman, I think Enderman a lot less, obviously, but I really think that it's going to be one of the heroes. Now, you got Steve, who's good at crafting and alchemy, I think they said. And you got then Alex, that just basically charges in more of a warrior. So, with my gut feeling, I don't think it's going to be obvious to be Steve. I don't think it's going to be. I'm going to rule out zombie, that's an Enderman, that's a zombie. Zombie and Enderman, because you just can kill them quite easy in Minecraft, unless they put the power-ups in there. Between Steve and Alex, I don't think it's going to be too obvious. I think it's going to be Alex. I think, in my personal opinion, that's what I think it is. Because I always say that, like, oh yeah, it's going to be this person. I didn't know to do this, and because I didn't know this, it makes me favouring like them. So obviously with the Enderman teleportation, but he said like other stuff as well. A zombie had like can spawn zombies, but could do lightning and stuff. But then you've got to think the heroes can just counteract it with all their stuff. They can make anything, pretty much. They can have anything to reflect whatever Enderman or zombie does to them anyway. So, and I don't think it's too obvious either. So I don't think it's going to be Steve. I think it's going to be Alex, in my personal opinion. But we'll just have to see. Here we go. I mean, guys, know who you think it is. Whoop. And I'm very crap at explaining myself. And it should be good because it's a 4-way. I'm going to have some more chocolate orange buttons. Or one. Time now. Oh, there goes Steve. Oh, Iron Golem, see? I'm going to build just Iron Golems. I like all these animations, though. Are they dead already? Let me guess. Stephen Axe died straight away. Oh, no. Where did he get his armor from? Uh-oh. Yeah, I was going to say, don't die there. Just taking the zombies. Oh, that's 2 Endermen against those zombies. Super fast. Oh, maybe Alex. No. Okay. Dragon Ball Z style. Why go after each other? Go. Oh, Steve's gone. Oh no, Steve's got one too. Okay, whatever that is. Resurrection. Oh, bomb as well. Yeah, because they can counter pretty much anything they can do. It might even be a tie between Steve and Alex, maybe. Oh, someone's blown up by Steve. Steve was killed by Alex. Maybe it's Enderman. Yeah, Alex is like... yeah, but they can... Enderman can dodge everything. Hey, did Catcher want to... Did he... He's got a Elytra, is it? Enderpearl. Oh, see, it didn't mention Enderpearl either. I thought it was going to be Alex. Because they can counter, but I didn't know about Enderpearl.
I was honestly really surprised about how this battle turned out. Playing through Minecraft,
yeah, more adventurous and braver.
The impression that Steve and Alex were the only true contenders here, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. In fact, each and every fighter here had their own viable way to stand on their own in combat. Let's start with our 4th place contestant, Zombie. Far and away, their biggest disadvantage was lack of strategy. Zombies are mostly mindless, and while they can be threatening,
it's just, my friend disappearing.
Character. Their biggest strength comes from their numbers, which could somewhat be recreated through the zombie leader's ability to duplicate themselves after receiving damage, but ultimately the strategy and ranged options of their opponents proved to be too much for Zombie.
My friend's gone.
And that brings us to 3rd place, where we had Mr. Minecraft himself, Steve. Steve had every physical advantage and item that Alex had, with the added bonus of excelling at alchemy and mining. The issue is that Steve just isn't as skilled of a tactician as his 2 opponents who beat him out. Both in the books and other official material, Steve is consistently portrayed as somebody with a tender heart, but not somebody who's suited well for battle. He's consistently shown making basic mistakes, like mining straight down, having a poor choice of what weapons to bring into battle, and preferring to play with bunnies rather than helping Alex engage in combat. He had all of the tools that he needed to win, but he just didn't have the strategy required to take him to the top. Maybe he ought to add study strategy more often to his list of fresens. And this brings us to our runner-up, Enderman. To be entirely honest, the Endermen nearly took this entire battle. They can dodge any projectile Steve and Alex can throw at them, and they had an incredibly reliable win condition by taking their targets and teleporting them to the end. Not to mention that the Endermen had centuries of study under their belt to learn the ins and outs of combat. Nearly every single minute of their life was dedicated to learning how to kill characters exactly like Steve and Alex. They knew exactly what Alex could throw at them, and they were prepared to deal with it and adjust their strategy on the fly. So why did the Endermen lose? Ultimately, this boiled down to a case of knowledge versus experience. While the Enderman has studied the ins and outs of combat for hundreds of years, most of this knowledge was theoretical. Rather than actually training against human players, Endermen almost only train against other Endermen. And while this training was specifically focused on anti-human warfare, a vast majority of Endermen who actually fought humans lost their cool, forgot their training, and died. So while this training was undoubtedly useful, it just can't compare to Alex, who not only has experience fighting human opponents like Steve and zombies, but she's also likely faced hundreds if not thousands of Endermen herself. Both the Enderman and Alex had a strong knowledge of what the other could do, but in the end, Alex had way more experience fighting Endermen than the Enderman had fighting Alex. So when all is said and done, Alex is the winner of the Minecraft Battle Royale, and will be the Minecraft Universe's champion to represent her series in the Smash Bracket and fight against Animal Crossing's Villager. Next time on the Smash Bracket.
Here we go. I'll probably record this straight after this one, by the way. Ice Climbers versus... Should be interesting. Okay. Duck Hunt Trio. Oh, not Duck Hunt Duo then. I thought Duo because, you know, Duo, Dog, and then Duo because the Ice Climbers, but Trio? Huh. Okay. Well, anyway, that was my reaction to Minecraft Battle Royale. It's brilliant and amazing. It actually looks like a proper like Minecraft animation. You know, back in the day of the Minecraft animation, it actually looks like that. It does look like an older animation, but it doesn't mean it was bad by any means. So don't take that the wrong way. It's just good. It feels like it's been out for ages. Well, it probably has by the time I've recorded this anyway. But you know what I mean? Like it's been out for years. You know, the Minecraft parody songs and stuff, like one of those sort of animations. It actually looks like that. So it's pretty cool that Ink can do all these animations, and his whole team gets people to do the animations. You know what I mean? And it's pretty cool. I said like I thought Alex was going to win. Well, it's going to be Alex this team. I even thought it was going to be a tie at one point because, as I said before, like they've destroyed countless of Endermen and zombies in their adventure. Even if you, the player, not playing as them in the lore, they've killed so many mobs. So I definitely thought it was one of them. And obviously, you know, they did kill them, but I wasn't expecting Steve to go out that quickly. Not third place anyway. I thought it was going to be at least like towards the end to be them two fighting each other. And like what I said, the zombie didn't use any elemental zombies or mages or anything like that. So there you go. I didn't fall for it this time. So yeah, as I said before, I managed to get some time to record this, and I'll probably record the next one after that, and then the next one, and see how far we get. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today and this reaction. If you guys enjoyed this reaction for any reason at all, please subscribe, like, and turn notifications so you guys don't miss the live streams do, and the video uploads do. And check out Smash Bracket in the description down there. And yeah, always remember to keep gaming. Bye, guys.